Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, and we're back to study a little bit more of 1 Peter 2. And before I start, I want to apologize about the orientation of the last video being vertical. I don't know what happened. I check these things and I haven't quite figured out how to know for sure while it's recording that it's in the right orientation, because it shows like my time at the bottom of horizontal orientations. That's what I think that I've got. So anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I'm sorry, because I know it's not as good to watch. Okay, so anyway, we're at verse 11, and we read like half a sentence last time, and that's okay, you guys. That's good. It's good when we're really looking for the meat of the word. You have to chew meat a lot longer than gruel or milk. Okay, and so it's just going to take longer to get through because we're looking for the meat. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so beloved, I urge you as aliens and strangers to abstain from fleshly lusts which wage war against the soul. So I want to write down fleshly lusts wage war against my soul. Fleshly lusts wage war against my soul. And again, we touched on this a little bit last time, but I want to talk about it a little bit more right now, because it's really striking me. I've been eating horribly. My mom's really trying to help me eat well while she's here, but like my parents aren't with me today, and you know, I'm grieving. It's yeah. So I'm eating comfort food. I had macaroni and cheese for lunch. And I've eaten almost an entire box of peanut butter chocolate wafers. Okay, so I can make up all kinds of excuses about why I'm eating that. I mean, I lost my husband 4 weeks ago. I'm still grieving. I'm just really going through hard times. And so I can make all kinds of excuses, but the fact is, those don't change the fact that it hurts my body. You know, it's not just that it doesn't help my body because I'm not getting the nutrition that I need, but the sugar and all the other processed junk that's in that are really hurting my body, and eating so much of it. Oh my goodness, you know. And my dad's diabetic, so I need to be more careful about things like that. So here I am eating things that are really bad for my physical body. Well, this is what Peter's talking about here, except in regard to our soul. He says we need to abstain from fleshly lusts which wage war against the soul. In other words, it's not just this neutral thing where we're not getting what we need. We're actually getting something that harms our soul, and doesn't just harm our soul, it wages war against it. Okay, so it seeks to destroy it. When you wage war against something, you're trying to destroy it. So those fleshly lusts try to destroy our soul. So we have to really abstain from them and beware of them. One thing that Pastor Dave Johnson at Church of the Open Door in Maple Grove said in this sermon that I absolutely love, probably my favorite sermon ever, because there was so much meat in it. It was just incredible, and just so much to think over for years and years and years. I mean, I think I heard it in 2011, okay, and I'm still thinking about it 8 years later. And it still speaks to me. But he was talking about Saul, not Paul Saul, but King Saul. And he was talking about how he allowed the little bit of bitterness in his life towards David to turn into this really big thing. And he was saying that when you allow envy to take root in your life, it grows and grows until it takes over, and there isn't room for anything else. And that's how it is, not just with envy or malice or anger or hatred. It's true of any sin. If you allow that, if I allow that to have a place in my life, then it's going to grow and grow and grow until it takes over and there's not room for anything else. And so we have to be very careful about those things, because the purpose of those things is not to help us or to entertain us. The purpose, that's what they may do in the short run, but in the long run, what they do is they wage war against our soul, and they want to destroy it. There's nothing good about that at all. It wants to destroy our soul. Okay, so keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles, so that in the thing in which they slander you as evildoers, they may, because of your good deeds, as they observe them, glorify God in the day of visitation. Okay, there's nothing for me to write down there about the recipients because this is really an instruction. So I'm not going to write down anything, but let's read that again, because this is kind of a continuation of this thought of avoiding the fleshly lusts which wage war against the soul. Keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles, so that in the thing in which they slander you as evildoers, slander means that they're saying something about you that's not true to make you look bad. Okay, so they're wrongfully accusing us as evildoers. In that very thing, they may, because of your good deeds, as they observe them, glorify God in the day of visitation. Okay, and the day of visitation, it says here, Christ coming again in judgment. In other words, you guys, this isn't something that we're going to see right away, okay? This is something that we're going to see when Jesus comes back. Could be 1,000 years from now. It could be tomorrow. We don't know. Okay, so we need to do these things knowing that this is going to be the outcome, not becoming discouraged because we don't see that outcome now, but we need to be doing good deeds that will glorify God at that time in the very thing that they slander us as evildoers. One of my philosophies in life is that if Satan wants me to do something, I need to do the opposite. Okay, so here, this verse kind of talks about that, because it's like, in the very thing that they slander you as evildoers, that's what you're supposed to be especially careful to do good deeds in. That's what I'm supposed to be especially careful to do good deeds in, is where I've been falsely accused of so many things, it's crazy. And so this is kind of exciting to me to read this, because it's like, now I know how to deal with that. You know, it's like, when I'm falsely accused of something that I didn't do, that's what a false accusation is, right? That's the area that I need to be especially careful to have good deeds in, so that will glorify God later on. Okay, I know this has been really short, but that's very profound, and so I want to leave us with that so that we can think about it and figure out how to apply that to our lives. Pray about that. Let me know below the ideas that God gives you for applying that in your life. What did this mean in your life? How can you apply this whole principle of avoiding fleshly lusts because they wage war against your soul, and keeping your behavior excellent, and in the very thing that you're slandered and falsely accused of, in that very thing, doing good deeds? How does that apply to your life? Because if I'm being falsely accused of stuff, I'm sure you are too, right? All right. I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.